So just to dive right in, you're about a week or so into your tour with Balance and Composure and I the Mighty. How's it been going so far?
I'm going good. I've been having a good time with these guys. All I can say about it is good lineup, and I think that everybody's putting their heart and soul on stage and having a good time. So that's what makes a good rock show. All the guys that are in the other bands are really awesome dudes, really down to earth. So yeah, that's the recipe for a good tour.
Absolutely. Do you think that there's anything that you guys have been able to learn from the other bands, or even vice versa, just from performing every night together?
No, it's just good to see, the hunger in younger bands. It's always we still got a huge appetite for getting out there and showing people, or playing music for people and showing people that we still have, what's the right word? I guess you have to use the same stupid word again, but the craving, to show, to play music and show what we still have. And other bands that are just beginning, Balance and Composure, and, both bands have been around for a bit, but they're still younger, so they're really, really pushing the limits to try and tour as much as possible, and it's cool to see that, because we were there, and in some way we still are, is what I'm trying to say, but it's kind of almost like an influence, or what's the right word I'm looking for? God, I've been looking for the word the whole time. But it's an inspiration. That's it. An inspiration to see, it's inspiring to see bands really plugging along like that, and kind of show us, this is where he started, he's still here, and he's still lucky enough to be playing shows. So, cool in that sense. And on top of it, there's great bands. So, enjoyable to hear them playing.
Yeah, and I'm sure that from their end, there's a bit of a mentorship happening there as well, to pair very young bands with bands that have been, a band that's been around for a while, like Coheed has.
Yeah, they're fans of the band. I know that for sure. And so, that also is, it's a cool thing when you're out with people and they understand what you're doing musically and they admire it.
Yeah.
It's also cool when you're with bands that aren't familiar with what you do, but they heard a song or two and they were like, oh, this would be cool. Tour with this band. That still works out, but I guess it's just really cool when it's a band that's familiar with the whole, the whole library you've released. They understand where you're coming from. They know the music by heart. It's kind of an honor in a way, especially when they're such good musicians and stuff.
Absolutely. I'm sure it's extremely flattering.
Yeah.
Now, I had read an interview, I think it was from a few months back, where you had talked about the sort of rock band era kind of being or becoming extinct, and it was such a big deal, and you guys had your music in there and everything. So do you think that there are any musical fads, so to speak, in the works that kind of thing can or ever will exist again? Because it was a huge deal when it was happening,
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about...
Just like Rock Band, Guitar Hero, those kind of
things. Yeah, and it was huge, and I think it propelled a career for a lot of bands, and helped them a lot. I can't really say. I think the platform for getting music out anymore is still video games and still commercials and stuff like that. Let's face it, it's not music videos per se, or anything like that. And the internet has become the advertising world now. Even a YouTube clip that kind of goes viral will get a band more popular than them being on, an MTV2, or even if I don't even know if they play videos. But, it's like, it's just one of those things where, Rock Band came around and it was a great thing for a lot of bands to put their music into it. And it kind of had a big bang in that sense. I don't know of anything that you could pinpoint that's coming out anytime soon, but I do know that, like, you know, bands that consistently just go out and tour and make videos of themselves and this and that seems to do quite well. And still, like, the hustle and, you know, the hustle mentality seems to work fairly well for bands still, because the only way that you're going to really make a living out of it, or to make a living out of it, is being out on tour.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you combine that with consistent playing, and as much media as you can get out there, like, you know, we just made a video for Number City, and we had a really, really incredible artist, you know, to detail these characters and do this whole thing. And that's probably one of my favorite videos that you know, Coheed's ever done. I think the past 3 videos are like, you know, were Coheed's best ever. And it's like, really what we're making those videos for is just have them out there on YouTube and on the internet and premiere on certain websites so that people see it and then they want to come out and see the show. You know, I mean, I guess that's always the way it was. If you were just kind of advertising to go see a live show as a band, even with your CDs, but it's just changed so much that the only thing that really works in your favor anymore is being out here and you know, releasing what you can. I mean, it's a very fast-paced world now, so it's an extremely fast-paced, like an ADD world. So it's like, you just got to keep plugging and giving people things to do, or else they're going to, you know, they're so hungry for some other information that they're going to go elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole thing would be like, oh, that band's just a flash in the pan. Well, everybody's a flash in the pan unless they work at it. That's like you're really, you know, the top of the pop, you know? Or if you're, you know, maybe Miley Cyrus right now or something like that, but that's just a whole other world, you know? That's no disrespect to that world. I mean, that world has its struggles too. I mean, I guess as an industry, entertainment industry in itself, it struggles. But I mean, you just gotta adapt to it. That's all. I'd like to think Coheed and a lot of the bands know have learned to adapt to it. You know?
I think you must have. I mean, you guys are still working hard, extremely relevant. You know, you still have a really strong fan base, so I think you guys are doing something right.
Well, the other side of it is, kind of like I said, you got to keep plugging, you got to keep eating. So, I mean, we don't stop doing that, and you know, that's not a complaint. I mean, sure, certain things can be tiring. I mean, we're a very heavy touring band. We always have been, and we enjoy it. But you know, we have families and all that stuff. So it's like, you know, that's the exchange. And you know, that's how you got to do it, I guess. I don't know. And that's in Coheed's experience, you know?
Yeah.
I can't speak for too many other people. I can speak for bands like that have, you know, friends bands and stuff, that was their experience too. But I mean, then again, I don't really know what a huge band, you know, like, I don't know, any band you mentioned, actually. You know, I was going to say, like, Kings of Leon or Coldplay, but, you know, they have to tour consistently. That's everybody. It's just the way it is. Sorry, I think I'm just going into my own politics.
No, it's fine. I agree with you. I mean, I think you're right. I think that touring is the, I don't want to say easiest because, like, you know, you're away from your family and your friends, but I think it's a very important way to make sure that you are constantly staying in the eyes and ears of the public and just, you know, hey guys, we're still here, come see us, you know. I think it is important.
Absolutely.
What is your first musical memory?
My first musical, I mean, I have a lot. My father and mother were both musicians, and then my mother kind of fell off with it. My father always continued to be out playing and writing songs, so I was around it my whole life. My early musical memories, I mean, I had a lot of music in my family. You know, I was grew up in one of those hippie families that they would all sit around the fire and, you know, they'd all play music and stuff at night. So it was kind of like you weren't getting away from it, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of early good memories. But then you build your own, you know. I mean, when I was like a younger kid, like probably 7 or 8, or whenever I first started, probably more like 9 or 10 when I first. I think 7 or 8, I was used to go at my point where I was afraid of metal. But but then I started to embrace what is heavy metal and, you know, heavy rock and all that jazz. And I think you find your own band, you know. You find your own influences and kind of branch off in that way. But what my parents brought me up on, you know, specifically my father and my mother actually, kind of never went away. You know, I have a love for a lot of folk music and like classic rock bands. Oh, Betty. Sorry, I'm walking my dog.
That's okay.
I'm actually walking Claudio's dog. I'm watching him for a couple of days, so we're going for a little walk while I do the interview. A little bit. So he actually went home for his wife and his anniversary just for a day off on tour, so he's been the tour dog then since, so I'm just kind of watching him. I know I turn going there and back. Just a side note. But, come on, Betty. But, go ahead, sorry.
No, it's okay. I have a border collie mix, so I totally get that. If they're not exercised, they are just super anxious and crazy. Dogs in general.
Yeah. I think his collar thing just pulled up. That's what happened.
Oh. What is one question that you'd like to be asked but never have been, and what is the answer?
A question that I'd like to be asked?
Yes.
That's a tough one. I mean, I suppose, you know, I mean, I've been asked a lot of questions. I like it when people just come off the cuff and ask, like, you know, something not personal, but like, you know, trying to think not your favorite color or some dumb shit like that. You know, like something more like, I mean, sorry, I'm throwing a blank. I mean, if you could come up with something.
That's okay.
Feel very uncreative, not thinking of a place.
And then just lastly, I'm sorry?
I feel like being asked where your favorite place to tour, this, that, and the other thing. You know, like I'm trying to think of something interesting. But, you know.
That's okay. Is there, I guess another way to put it would be something that you might want people to know that you don't think they do.
Oh. That Zach Cooper is one hell of a guy. That's our bass player. Zach Cooper is one hell of an amazing sweet dude. How's that?
That's good. And then lastly, just yeah. And then just, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just that, you know, like we're playing like a really good heavy set of a lot of our songs, past and present, and you know we got a really cool visual kind of setup going on in the show. So, you know, even if you're not familiar with the band, I mean, I think that any music fan would enjoy watching this show, especially with the other two bands. So, definitely worth coming out.
Yeah, I have personally never been to a show. I was hoping to review this one, and then things got kind of mixed up. But I've had friends that have been, and I've just always heard incredible live show. I've heard nothing but really, really good things about your live shows. So I definitely second that.
Well, come check it out. Say hello.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm not giving up on seeing you guys. I've been following you for several years, and like I said, nothing but good things about your live show. So I definitely hope to see you one day.
I had a really good time, and if you can come out to the show, come say hello, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.